Our next speaker is Kate Hudson, who is the Left Unity UK National Secretary. And Kate is also a member of the Greece Solidarity Campaign, so she's going to be wearing two hats. And as with Pippa, I think the two hats are going to come together tonight. Thank you, Kate.
Yeah. Thanks very much indeed, and I'm sure, like many of you, I've found the last few days extremely moving. I mean, just watching the TV coverage on Sunday, even though we were expecting a Syriza victory, seeing that happen, I saw on my tweets the coverage of the Italian delegation seeing Bella Ciao in the tent in the square and all that sort of thing really brings you to tears, because we've had decade after decade of defeat for the working class in Britain as well as across Europe. I mean, it's 3 decades since the defeat of the miners' strike, which of course hit South Wales as hard as any other mining community. So to see that Syriza victory now, I mean, really it is a victory and an opportunity for all of us, and I think we have to understand that and take ownership of it and help take responsibility for that Syriza victory actually coming to success in Greece and thereby across Europe. And one of the things that moved me particularly were some of the words that Alexis Tsipras, the leader of Syriza, said. He said that a Syriza victory can be the spark that sets the field of socialism alight, and that's what I'm sure we all want to see, this being reproduced elsewhere. I just want to say a little bit about the rise of Syriza and how it's come to be so successful, and then just a bit about the challenges it faces and what we can do as well ourselves here, because I think that's the most important thing for us. As I'm sure many of you know, perhaps 5 years ago, Syriza was on less than 5% of the vote, maybe 4.5%. It went in 2012 to round about 18% of the vote, and then of course it skyrocketed. Why has that happened? Why has what was essentially a pretty small and marginal party come to predominate in Greek politics? Why has it come to kick aside PASOK, the Labour Party equivalent in Greece? Because of two things, I think. One is its political principles. It is a party which has clearly articulated the anti-neoliberal politics that is absolutely vital in Greece and across Europe today. So it's been completely principled on a political level. It's helped to articulate and harness the rage which people have been feeling. I was reading in the G2 today the sort of 2 pages of why a Greek man who lives in Britain, why he went home and voted for Syriza, and that was very much part of it. He felt that Syriza was harnessing the rage, making something good, making change, making an alternative come out of the rage that the Greek people feel about what's been done to them. So they've got the political principles, and then they've also got the political practice, which the Greek people have got confidence in and respect for. In terms of how they've developed as a party, they've gone from being a coalition of small groups into a one-member, one-vote party. They've embraced openness and transparency and a great measure of inclusivity in their politics. So as a party, they stand for new forms of politics, which has been very, very important for the Greek people, because the political elites in Greece have been so corrupt. So they stand for something new. But also in their practice externally and how they relate to the people and to the communities in Greece. And I'm sure Liam's going to talk about the social solidarity movement in Greece, which has been so remarkable over the last few years. When the welfare state's gone to zero, people haven't been able to afford food. Syriza has been part of the movements, an organic part of the movements, which have set up social clinics, social pharmacies, social supermarkets, to make sure that people are fed and they have medical treatment that they would die without otherwise. So Syriza has been part of that. So its political theory and its principles and its political practice have won that support through their grassroots organisation and so on. So now here they are in power. They've got a programme which the people support. The main challenge for them, obviously, is going to be how they deal with the debt question, and everybody is looking at them across Europe, from both sides, people against them and people in favour of them. The question is, how will they deal with that? And essentially, Greece has basically been forced to borrow so much money at such harsh conditions that it can't afford to pay it back. It's just impossible for it to be repaid, but at the same time the Troika is still trying to get it to borrow more, So the key thing about Syriza is that it refuses to continue with this vicious circle. It will end Greece's debt slavery, that's all there is to it. And basically the Troika has to accept that, and we have to support Greece in making that absolutely clear and making that possible. As Pippa touched on, Syriza's demand is for an international debt conference. As you said, there's precedent for that in 1953. That happened in London for Germany, a 50% write-off and rescheduling of the rest at reasonable rates, so the country can begin to move on and grow and develop. And the Troika has to accept this. Now, of course, on telly we've seen one load of economists saying, oh yes, that's fine, this can all be done, it's quite possible. Another load, like some German finance minister saying, no, they've got to pay the whole thing off and they've got to pay it on time and we can't have any compromise. So, we'll have to see what happens. But I was watching, I think it was on Newsnight last night, the Syriza, a finance minister, and some previous presenter had been saying this, who's going to blink first? Is it the government, Syriza government, or is it the Troika? And he said, it's not a game of blink, This is a very serious matter. We are not going to pay it off. We've been elected not to pay it off, and we are not going to pay it off. And of course, as other people have said, if this happens for Greece, and it will happen for Greece, then also we will have the same demands, rightly, from Ireland, from Spain, from Portugal, and those, we have to support those demands as well. And it's in that way that we will rebalance the politics of Europe, and rebalance the economics of Europe, and defeat the austerity agenda. They've done it in Latin America, by the way. We have to do it here, and we can do it here. And this is the kind of massive wedge in the door to ensure that we can get it done. So it's not just a Greek struggle, it's a struggle for all of us across Europe, because obviously it's a class struggle across Europe. And that's the reality of it. Greece is where the struggle is harshest. Greece is the weakest link in the chain, that kind of analysis. But we have to work together to make sure that Greece can succeed in this, because if Greece succeeds, we are all the victors. So, how can we build solidarity and support for Syriza and the Greek government and the Greek people? Well, there are a number of suggestions, Chair, that I would like to make. You mentioned the Greece Solidarity Campaign. This has been going for about 3 years now. You can Google it. I think it's GreeceSolidarity.org. It's basically a solidarity organisation based in the trade unions. It has support of the TUC. There have been many union delegations to Greece, with members from Unite, the anti-cuts organisations, from a whole range of political organisations, left MPs and so on. So that organisation exists already. I don't know if you noticed in The Guardian today, the lead letter on Greece was signed by Francis O'Grady and Len McCluskey and so on, Caroline Lucas, Jeremy Corbyn. That was a letter organised by the Greece Solidarity Campaign to show the breadth of support for Syriza and the new government across British society. That letter is going to go online on the Greece Solidarity website as a kind of an open letter for everyone to sign up. Just a small thing, but if everyone could go on there and sign up and share that, so you can start to get a kind of mass of support. There's also an early day motion that's being put down in Parliament by Caroline Lucas and Jeremy Corbyn and others in support of Syriza. It's very important that we all get our MPs to sign up and support that, or at least to press them to do that. So those are some quite simple things that we can do. There's also, Greece Solidarity Campaign has a medical aid for Greece campaign as well, which we've worked with the Solidarity for All organisation in Greece for a couple of years, raising money for the social clinics, raising money at their request for things like vaccinations for children against treatable diseases that children are starting to die from. So that is also there, available information about that on the Greece Solidarity website. It may be that you could ask your trade union to pass a motion in support of the Greek government and the Greeks' right to choose democratically their own future, but also maybe make a donation for the social clinics, to help support them in this very difficult time. So those are very practical things. Of course, as the Greek comrades always say to us, that's very, very helpful material aid, but the most important thing is your political support, and for you to be doing in your own country what we are trying to do in Greece. So to put that real pressure on politically. So building the anti-austerity movement here and all our different campaigns, as Katrin was talking about, all that is exceptionally important in terms of building solidarity with Greece. Irrespective of what party we're in or not in, we can all work together in the movements and campaigns. And of course, if you're so minded, I would obviously extend a warm welcome to you to join Left Unity, or to consider joining Left Unity if you're not already involved with it. We're the sister party of Syriza here in Britain, and of Podemos in Spain, which is trying to do different things. We were founded partly through the inspiration of Syriza and what it was trying to do in Greece. So you're very welcome to join us. But irrespective of that, it doesn't matter about parties, irrespective of that, please get involved in the anti-austerity campaigns, get involved in Greece Solidarity, and do everything we can to secure the success of the Syriza government and to bring that victory home to Britain too.